All right, so has everybody heard the new information about Aziz Ansari? Everybody heard some of that? Okay, so like, I need to throw in on that conversation because it's everybody's conversation, which means it's also my conversation. So I've published an open letter to Aziz Ansari because I actually like the cat and I think he can do better. Aziz, it would be so wonderful if you could find the actual joke in this. Find it with grace and emerge from the depths with tools to bring that joke cackling, gasping, and tear streaming into the world. It would be such an act of courage and skill and integrity. It would be so different than the boring old cha-cha of avoidance, diversion, and denial. I actually think you may be up to it. I actually think you have a chance. But you gotta give up the old woe is me. Sucks, but that's the doorway to the real shit. Everything else is just superficial icing will conscript you to a lifelong service of putting up appearances, faking success, tap dancing atop the elephant in the room, and making ads for Jell-O. You do have to do something. That may be super inconvenient, because it wasn't on your to-do list to tackle the topic of sexual coercion this year. But then you wrote a book on the comedy of sex and romance on the internet, so that was from the point of view of someone conditioned to be male at a time when male conditioning is still heavily influenced by the back alley psychosocial mafia of an aging, ailing patriarchy cracking at its tense, overweight, Rogaine seams. You've been knocking at our door, it seems. So here we are. You found yourself ensconced in the topic of sexual assault. Sexual assault is a topic that is experienced as something of an intrusion, yes? Here's the thing, dudes. Those who experience allegations of sexual assault as an intrusion, as an inconvenient change in life that cannot be ignored and must be addressed, welcome. Welcome. That sense of intrusion is not a solo burden you must bear alone, but part of a well-populated collective summit, which has been in process for many, many, many years. You now have a ticket and a name tag. Hello, your name is Aziz. Come on in. There's support here. Intrusion feels bad. So, lean on your comrades. For we here understand the sense of intrusion, of inconvenience, of life being turned upside down when you were just trying to do your own thing. To those who feel intruded and inconvenienced by allegations of sexual assault, recognize that your feeling is a mere echo of the sense of intrusion and inconvenience that survivors of sexual assault experience. This is your conversation. It always has been so. Although you are invited into the conversation a little more loudly now than before, the invitation has always been on the table. Welcome. So, much the same as the many, many, many survivors of sexual assault and coercion, you now have choices with what you do going forward. Just like the rest of us, you'll find that making choices is not optional. This is something you have to deal with now, and not dealing with it is just another choice on the spectrum. Like the many survivors here, you have the power to make choices that are not at all new and are not in any way of benefit to you. Like them, you also have the power to make choices that are actually new, choices that change the game, that are of great benefit to you as well as benefit to others, to sex, to language, to comedy, to politics, and to the context of the entire world's conversation. But first, my friend, look around. As an earthling, in this age, sexual assault, however nuanced or hidden or normalized, has always been your conversation. It sucks to be inconvenienced. When you are in the middle of something else, something real fucking important. But now, here you are, in this conversation, this convention. Do something. And please, dudes, all dudes facing allegations, surprise me. Do something completely different. Any one of you. Anytime now. Psst, Aziz, you're on, homie. We, the creative, collaborative, compassionate, hardcore survivors, the throngs of thriving theater makers on the front lines of cultural change, we await you with open arms.